Hi friends, it's Lisa Hetrick, illustrator for Gina K Designs, and I'm so grateful you could join me today. I have a brand new stamp set to share. Let's dive in and take a peek. Okay, let's take a look at the stamp set. This is Friendship Blooms, and this is the coordinating die set. I am going to walk through all of the elements in the stamp set, but you can see that this set is chock full of really interesting graphics that are embroidery inspired, but not super sewy, if that makes any sense. We've got this really great sentiment up here that's universal. Friendship is a flower that blooms all season. And I love that we're starting to do these with a lot of the sets in the Gina K collection. We've got dies that can help you cut out the sentiment. But here is the coordinating die set. There is a die for mostly every single element in here, with the exception of our line pieces. But I think this is my super favorite die. So this is an oval, the shape that works with the stitched oval, but look at this shape. It's universal. You're going to be able to use this over and over and over again with a lot of different things. And it just makes a really great background builder piece. So, and I'm going to share how I use that in some of the card inspiration. So let's go ahead and move this over. We're going to walk through the elements in the stamp set. Just kind of break this down so that you can take a peek at it. So here is that stitched oval, and this is a significant size for your A2 card. So it's really, again, a universal shape that you're going to go to over and over again, that you can work with the die or without the die. Here are the two Lazy Daisy inspired elements that are leafery elements, kind of like our leafery elements, but they're more graphic. So we've got this look of the line art and the solid, and then we also have the petal elements that are in the solid that you'll be able to do some two-step stamping into those images. And you can see this is a builder piece that I use to build all of these pieces down here. And we've got all of the petal pieces, the Lazy Daisy petals, in two different sizes of solid and line art. I've got some satin stitched pieces here, little circles, a hexagon, a circle, and a petal. And I also have this star that's kind of like satin stitched inspired as well. These pieces right here, I'm going to show you in the inspiration, all coordinate together to do two-step stamping and building a different graphic elements, which is super fun. I'm going to show you how we build a snowflake with these images. Super fun. All right, I've got these two line pieces so that are stitched looking, but the really interesting thing about these line pieces and these pieces right here is that you can use that notch space in between each of the stitched elements, and that becomes your graphic cue to line up your pieces. And I'm going to show you how that works in some card inspiration. I've got some other graphic elements over here, a little dot that you're going to see is super fun. As an element, an add-on an element, like an embellishment. And we have these ribbon cabbage roses that are super inspired by this piece. Again, this piece that I stitched up with these silk ribbon cabbage roses. Totally inspired by that. Okay, we've got that sentiment. Friendship is the flower that blooms all season. Really simple. What friend wouldn't love to get that card with that sentiment on it? And then we have these pattern builder pieces here. So these four elements, and there's also this piece right here. Let's pull that in for you. This piece right here that I showed just back here. So it's right here. So all four of these pieces to build these different graphic patterned element backgrounds. So here is our card inspiration for today. Loving this. Look at that oval. We've got that oval die. Super fun. Used it without the stitched element, but used it as my grounding element on this fresh asparagus to create my pattern piece and did a little bit of pattern and cut that out, just have that come off the edge just to create a little bit of graphic interest. But imagine this color combination in a holiday color combination with a holiday sentiment. How fun would that be? Or a fall or spring or summer. So the really, really cool thing about doing patterns, the really super cool thing about pattern elements and a lot of the stamp sets that are in the Gina K collection where you're building, you have so many opportunities to just change out the color combinations to create different looks. And in this one, I used the blue spruce, the dark spruce, from the spruce line of inks. I used them with tranquil teal just to kind of create this really fun background against the fresh asparagus. And I've got that sentiment, I've been thinking of you, that is in the new incentive set. Love this card. Okay, let's move on. I could talk about that card forever. Now, this card might be my favorite. This one is super inspired by like a modern embroidery piece, and I can even see myself stitching this one up. I used the stitched oval, and I just kind of nested it together to create this really interesting background. I've got my cabbage roses here. I've got my lazy daisy stitches just kind of going around. And the really beautiful thing about the arc in those lazy daisy stitches is that they will nest really nicely around the bottom of the oval and the die. They're arced so that they'll nest really nicely around them. And then added in these satin stitched elements to just kind of create this little flower cluster, dropped in the little dots just to create a little bit more whimsy to it. Super fun. Okay, now I couldn't not do a holiday card with the Lazy Daisy stitched pieces, because these look very much like holiday boughs, and they're really, really just a lot of fun to work with. And I paired it up with one of the brand new stamp sets that are coming out tonight with some snowflakes just to create this super fun holiday look. Okay, this card is graphic inspired. It's got a lot of different the satin stitch star elements, and I used pieces to kind of just create this leafery look and feel that's wrapped around the friendship is a flower that blooms all season. So this is just kind of a fun card. It's got a little touch of whimsy to it. Changed it up with some of the greens, jelly bean green, tranquil teal. Add a little bit of that cherry red for a pop of color, pop of modern color, just to give this a fun look. Okay, I think that this card is my favorite. I think it's my favorite. We've got that oval piece with the stitch. I've got the Lazy Daisy stitches going in here. I've got the little star here, and it just really, really looks like a modern stitched piece, a modern embroidery piece on the top of a card here, and I just love it. All right, here is that snowflake idea I was telling you. This has kind of like a Nordic feel to it, which is really super fun. But I've got the satin stitch leafery here, and I'm showing you that line, and the notched pieces in the line, in the stitch line, will help you line up those elements so that you can create and build this snowflake kind of look. And as with all of my stamp sets, I have a brand new card inspiration sheet for Friendship Blooms. You can see I also did another card that with floral, I did a couple in here with the elements coming together to create that snowflake look. I created these two cards to show you just some other options for patterns and some really fun elements. Just really fun card ideas. This is a really great universal set for building different kinds of looks, different kinds of graphic looks for your stamp set. I hope you enjoyed all of the inspiration for Friendship Blooms, my brand new stamp set with Gina K Designs. You can find it now at ginakdesigns.com in the What's New section. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider sharing the joy by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. And you can watch more card and watercolor tutorials here.